we're going to talk about writing an eye-catching college admissions essay. So this is a super important essay. So if you have to write one soon, pay attention. Tip number one for this, don't just recount, which means like recall the details, but reflect. So what this means, basically anyone can write about how they won that big game or the summer they spent in Rome. But when recalling these events, you need to give more than just the play-by-play or the itinerary. You should describe what you learned from the experience or how it changed you or what you took away from it. So let's look at a bad example and a good example for writing with reflecting, not just recounting. Bad example would be, last summer I went to Nicaragua. I stayed in an eco-hostel / permaculture farm community. I went to yoga classes every day, visited the chocolate factory, took a tour of their farm, and learned about the production and health effects of chocolates. I also got stung by a big ant right under my eye. So this is just listing what happened on the trip. It's not listing how it affected me. So let's look at a few paragraphs that shows how to tell the same story about the same trip in a way that makes it come alive. So the good example, and I see we have a question too. I'm going to go to that in just a moment after the good example. You might write, my trip to Nicaragua last summer was so magical that I actually decided to move there a few months later. I don't even know where to start with describing the most memorable trip I've had in over 10 years of life as a nomad. I wanted to do something to care for my body and mind, so I committed myself to going to yoga classes every day. Kundalini yoga classes with Maryut were some of the most unique yoga classes I've ever taken. Not only did we do the exercises, she talked to us in depth about the philosophy behind particular practices and what their health benefits are. Now I know which pranayamas, breathing exercises, to do to energize myself and which to do if I can't sleep at night. However, that was not even the most unforgettable part of the trip. No, the most unforgettable part was taking a tour of a chocolate factory / farm called El Pital down the street from where I stayed. As someone who grew up with a chocolate factory as the family business, I thought I knew everything about chocolate. I was wrong. Did you know that chocolate has psychoactive effects? That's right, you can get high if you consume about 50 grams of cacao. I also learned that the supplier my family's company used to get chocolate from uses child slave labor. My dad was not pleased when I told him about that. The worst part of the trip also left me with some important food for thought. As Nicaragua is a tropical country with a lot of jungle, there are a lot of animals that can sting or bite you. I got into a battle with an ant and the ants won. It stung me right under the eye. Oh, that shouldn't say bye.